As a finance professional in a disrupted business landscape, what does it take to be in demand? What does it take to attract great paying international roles? If you're an ICAN member, it'll just take one exam. That's all it takes to complete the globally recognized SEMA professional qualification and the internationally respected CGMA designation. As a SEMA member and a CGMA designation holder, employers will look at you as a finance professional, constantly acquiring new skills to add value to the business. That's why they'll be willing to pay premium to hire and retain you. If you have 5 years of relevant experience and are an ICAN member, you can directly sit for the final exam of the SEMA Professional Qualification, the Strategic Case Study Exam. Start studying the SEMA Professional Qualification. Prepare to make an impact.
Good evening, our professional colleagues, students, members, and friends of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. You're welcome to another episode of ICAN on Air, your great platform for learning, powered by our noble institute, ICAN. I'm your host for today, Tosin Akimumi, FCA. Please inform your colleagues and friends that the show has begun, and you can be part of this show on ICAN Facebook page and ICAN YouTube channel. And today, Thursday, 14th March, 2024, we shall be considering another topic, upscaling accounting profession with technology, the Canada experience. And I have here with me in the studio two distinguished and eminent professionals from Canada and this society. The first guest of the show today is Dr. Bolutife Oluwadele, FCA, a member of the technical committee of ICAN Canada and the Society, and he shall be talking to us on the topic of scaling accounting profession with technology. While my second guest, the chairman of ICAN Canada and the Society, Mr. Blessing Familusi, FCA, he shall be talking to us on the night ICAN Canada and District Society. So sit back and relax. I will come back after this time out with my guest on the show. Don't go away.
As a finance professional in a disrupted business landscape, what does it take to be in demand? What does it take to attract great paying international roles? If you're an ICAN member, it'll just take one exam. That's all it takes to complete the globally recognized SEMA professional qualification and the internationally respected CGMA designation. As a SEMA member and a CGMA designation holder, employers will look at you as a finance professional, constantly acquiring new skills to add value to the business. That's why they'll be willing to pay premium to hire and retain you. If you have 5 years of relevant experience and are an ICAN member, you can directly sit for the final exam of the SEMA Professional Qualification, the Strategic Case Study Exam. Start studying the SEMA Professional Qualification. Prepare to make an impact.
Yes, you're welcome back to ICAN on Air. If you are just joining us, on this episode today, we are talking about upscaling accounting profession with technology, the Canada experience. And I have in-house my distinguished professional, Dr. Bolu Oluwadele, FCA. Dr. Bolu, it is a pleasure having you on the show today.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be connected to the modern profession.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Without much ado, let me quickly take the brief profile of Dr. Bolutife Oluwadele, FCA. Dr. Bolutife is a chartered accountant, public policy scholar, management strategist, diligent fraud investigator, writer, and author. A trainer with considerable management consulting, taxation, human development, and business advisory. He is also a corporate governance expert. He was educated at Walden University, USA, Leeds Beckett University, Leeds, United Kingdom, and Federal College of Education, Katsina, Nigeria. He holds a PhD in public policy and administration. He founded Bolutife, Oluwadele and Co. Chartered Accountants and Bolco Consulting in Nigeria. He manages Libremont Consulting Incorporation, Canada, and a new baby, the Village Boy Academy, to develop young writers and prospective authors. That is their brief profile of our guest on the show today. Once again, I welcome you to the show, Dr. Bolutife Oluwadele. Now, without much ado, we are here today to talk about the topic of scaling accounting profession with technology, the Canada experience. So let me kick off this way. Generally, knowledge sharing and cross-fertilization of ideas create synergy, they birth new friendships, and expand the frontiers of creativity and innovation. Having you as a guest on this show today will grant our global viewers the opportunity to learn and to share a lot from your perspectives and wealth of experience as a professional. So if the accounting profession is positively upscaled with technology, what will it mean or bring to individuals, businesses, and society at large?
Thank you very much. When you talk about upscaling, we are not talking about individual level. We are talking about corporate level. It is more of a team spirit, a team working together. So having said that, what we have done in ICAN Canada specifically is to harness collective wisdom, experiences, and exposures of our members, and thereby create a kind of a compass. We now use this compass to undertake environmental scanning of events that affect the profession and the society at large. And through this, the outcome of this scanning, we also were able to develop a kind of a scalable template whereby we can feed in this the outcome of this of the environmental scanning into this template to be able to derive of what should be done at the particular moment. What we say upscaling is like accounting, as it were, is one profession that we say after there are two professions that are even, I would say, that are very close to the mind of God. One is agriculture because we have to eat. The second profession is account. Because accounting rather, we are going to be held accountable at the end of our journey on earth. That's what we believe. So because of this centrality, what we did, this template now enable us to say, okay, how do we ensure that the central role accounting profession is supposed to play in society is not jeopardized by the rapid development in technology? So how do we do that? Is to ensure that whatever technology is coming is just to enhance the operation of our work, of our job as accountants. So the profession is one thing that will never go to extinction. I know many of our members are afraid. They are scared that, okay, technology is going to take away their job or not. No. What we are saying upscaling is to say, look, what we need to do is to upscale, our response to technology. We are supposed to manage technology in such a way that it makes our job a lot much easier than before and not taking away our job. Now, if you want to go through the historical area level, you see that we started from reckoner. In the days of we process through reckoners, then we get to adding machine, then we get to mainframe, then we get to personal computer, then we started using Excel before we now, both for our audit and accounting. Now we move to having a accounting software, auditing software, and from there now we move to big data. We're talking of data mining. So but all these things, what does it provide? Accountant has been at the center of management information system, and organization, society, they will forever require management information system. We are at the forefront. We are supposed to be controlling, because we understand control and governance. Exactly. And even the big data that is scaring people away, you cannot manage big data without controls, without governance. And who is best equipped to be the front runner. We are not going to. We are not going to say that we are going to be the only one that is going to do this. But accountants are better at the best equipped to lead in controls and governance of IT, both from the architectural design, operation, and the information generated by technology. Who controls it? Who rules? Accountants. So it is therefore necessary for the profession itself not to think that, okay, there is rapid development in technology, therefore our profession is going to an extinction. No, we are going to roll our sleeves and respond appropriately in terms of controls, in terms of governance.
All right. That's beautiful. Okay, so moving along, accounting is a global subject, but the practice of accounting is also unique based on the jurisdiction in context. Please quickly run our global audience through some of the similarities and peculiarities of accounting practice between Canada as a nation and Nigeria as a nation.
Thank you very much for that question. Fundamentally, debit is debit, credit is credit, irrespective of the jurisdiction. But we do know that in terms of law, in terms of taxation, which is our component part of our accounting practice, there is a huge difference from nation to nation. For instance, also here in Canada, audit practice, as an auditor, we have only one level. We express opinion on an account or financial statement. Here we have a middle level whereby you can be a reviewer. A review is not a complete audit process. Then you don't necessarily have to express opinion as the normal audit. So you can be a reviewer, you can also be an auditor. There are some businesses, all they require is to get a reviewer to review their financial transaction, and that will be sufficient. In Nigeria, we don't have that middle level. We just have audit for every kind of business. So you see some small-scale practitioners who are just contented here to be a reviewer and not necessarily be a full-scale auditor. So this are basic difference between Canada practice and Nigerian practice. And that is why you see, maybe if you adopt such a process in Nigeria, maybe the level of quirks that we have, people who are, all these things, we may be able to eliminate those ones, because the demand to be a full-fledged auditor is cumbersome, especially for small practitioners and for even small-scale entrepreneurs, SMEs, or business owners. They may not be able to afford the price, the fee to pay for full audit, whereas a review might be sufficient for them. For corporate filing and all that regulatory framework. So that is a big difference there. But when it comes to financial accounting, yes, some of them are guided by law, but the way you process your debit, the way you process your accounting, the way you calculate your profit, there is basically no difference in any jurisdiction. If you are making profit, if you are not making profit in your business, either you are practicing in Nigeria or you are practicing in Canada, it's basically the same thing. It is when it moves to the level of taxation that is different. So what do you need to do? What are you entitled to? What claim do you have in terms of taxation? They are basically different. And of course, the law governing business transactions are usually different from country to country. But basic fundamental of accounting, debit and credit, financial accounting, management accounting, the process is basically the same thing.
Okay. Well done and beautiful, sir. Going by your profile, which I read earlier on, which confirmed that you have some businesses in Nigeria. So certainly you have understanding of Nigeria environment and also Canada environment. And you will agree with me that Canada and Nigeria are different in terms of technological advancement, as well as culture and business environment. So my question is, what should Nigerian businesses and professional accountants in particular do differently in order to keep up with their peers in terms of the application of technology?
Yeah, I think we still need a lot of government support in terms of compliance. And compliance is the sense that if the level of compliance that we see, here, in Canada, we don't see that that level in Nigeria in terms of business filing, business, taxation and all that. So we need government kind of to create more enabling environment whereby people willingly, we want to file their returns. People will really want to comply with some issues regarding their business, the operation of their business. Then we need a lot of supportive tendency from the regulatory agencies like NAFDAC, NASMEDAN, who are supposed to, especially to cater to the small and medium enterprises, they are supposed to encourage them more. Because when these businesses thrive, even professional accounting will thrive. You will discover that there is a gap in record keeping because we lack basic technology. And because we lack basic technology, because there is a challenge of infrastructure. For instance, electricity is a major problem that makes business not to thrive as they should in Nigeria. Because you are providing your electricity, you are providing your own basic infrastructure. You see a lot of our businesses, they care less about keeping records. They care less about hiring accountants. They care less about, getting involved in auditing. Asking auditors to come and look at their records. They don't even have the record in the first instance. It is only when they probably apply for contract and they ask them to bring audited account, they now start running enter and scatter to get cut and join kind of audit practice. We need an enabling environment that allow business to run very well with technology. For instance, your basic POS should be able to, a business with a basic POS should be able to, they determine how much VAT you are charging, and those which at the end of the month you render your returns based on that. You'll be able to calculate that. Unlike people just sell goods, collect money, and file returns the way they didn't fit. I think in that case, we need more of an enabling environment. We need more help from government in terms of compliance. Because when there's more compliance in Nigeria, there is even more work for professional accountants, as it were.
Okay. We need government support in order to ensure compliance for the professionals' prosperity, as you put it. Our viewers, audience, if you are just joining us, we are on another episode of ICAN-ngr, and we are talking about upscaling accounting profession with technology, the Canada experience. And we have in the studio Dr. Oluwadele, FCA, who has been provided insight on the questions given to him so far. Please send in your questions. Certainly, Dr. Bolu is on ground to provide responses to those questions. Today's episode is a unique episode because after the break, we are going to go into the second guest again on a different topic. So if you have questions, please quickly send it in so we can post it to Dr. Bolu on the show. So Dr. Bolu, still in that line of thought regarding technology and automation, upscaling accounting profession. So my question now is, technology and automation, you agree with me, they both have positive and negative potentials on professional accountants. Can you share your experience on some of the challenging impacts of technology, say for instance, job security or any other challenge it's posing?
Yeah, thank you very much. When you talk about, yes, every good thing, most of the time we have the bad side of it. Technology is very rapid. To catch up with technology is a lot of job, a lot of challenge here and there. Then there's security. We know that this technology has opened a lot of challenges. Control is becoming more difficult to catch up with. So you have to be on the lookout for new threats. There are a lot of threats in technology. Though it makes the job easier, it makes the job faster. And imagine those days when you want to do simple bank reconciliation or any reconciliation, you know what to go through I mean, using adding machine and looking for 2 kobo, 1 kobo for like 2 or 3 days. But today, with technology, it's with click of the button, in 5 minutes, your reconciliation is done. But then there are other things that are involved now that make it very challenging. I mean, your exposure to attack, to cyber attack, is always there. Bad guys are always trying to find loopholes. I mean, your data can be corrupted, your data can be stolen, and your system can even be shut down. I showed you an example. One day we got to office here in Canada here, and the server was down. And for like 2 hours, we could not do any. We could not even log into our computer. We could not do any work because all the work we would do is resident in the computer system. So without the computers that we are for that 2 hours, we are completely useless because everything is automated. That is the flip side of automation. When there is a disruption, then you are confused. You don't know what to do next. So what you do now to mitigate that is to have a backup offsite, is to ensure that there is uninterrupted power supply, is to ensure that you have a kind of 24/7 monitoring of your system, because I mean, people are doing social engineering, just looking for any loopholes to exploit. So there is a lot of challenge for cybersecurity, and as you are developing one control, another challenge is coming up. But then this is our life now. We cannot do without technology. So we have to brace up. And that is why I said accountants should be at the forefront of control and governance of this automation process, because we understand the need for control. We understand the need for governance. So we are process oriented. We are procedure oriented. So
exactly.
No matter the challenge, we have to put our thinking cap all the time to ensure that we respond appropriately. More importantly, we also learn, which is part of upscaling, is to try to be more proactive than we used to be. Reacting to events is not the best approach. Being proactive is better than reacting.
Thank you very much. Being proactive is better than being reactive. We want to quickly take a question from our audience. Raymond Mbua Khan. We say, what are the certifications you need to enable you meet with the demand of technology as an accountant or as an auditor? Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. There are various kind of certification you will need to do, depending on what you want to specialize. Again, one thing I have to also mention here, in Canada, there is more of specialization. In Nigeria, we are more of generalization. You want to do so many things. Here, you are expected to focus on a particular area. When you narrow your focus, then you can know the kind of certification that you will need to develop deeper knowledge, deeper understanding on the area you focus on. Unlike when you just do everything. If you want to be an auditor, do you want to be a system auditor? Do you want to be a financial auditor? It depends on what you want to do. That will determine the certification you want to go for. There are so many kind of certification. Even for instance, within ISACA, for instance, you have close to 6-7 certification, depending on what you want to focus on. So it's your area of focus that will determine the certification you need. But much more than certification, you have to also develop, a kind of inquisitive mindset, which is what we are trained for as an auditor. Especially when we talk about these cybersecurity challenges, you have to be very inquisitive. You have to be very observant. You need all those soft skills beyond the certification. Your certification will depend on what you want to focus on.
Okay, and that is it. Your specialization is what will determine what certification you would need. Even though Dr. Bolu has decided to shake the table, that over here we possibly do jack of all trade. You may not mind us. We need to move and do what we think we need to do. Thank you for that response to the question. Okay, so moving on that part, as you are all aware, Nigerian leaders are at all the three tiers of government and governance. They hold ICAN in high esteem, and they appreciate the contributions of the institute. So my question, how does ICAN Canada and this society communicate its professional and intellectual contributions to the government? Do you have any template or strategy or approach that you use in doing that? Please kindly share with us, as we have other district society listening to you with rapt attention.
Yeah, thank you very much. From the very first international conference we had here in Calgary, which happened to happen in Calgary in 2016, at the end of each conference, we developed a communique of what was discussed during the conference. And through that also, whatever we think government should do to help the profession and to better the society at large, we normally forward that to the president and council. We are an affiliate body of ICAN Nigeria, so we cannot by ourselves directly reach out to government, but we normally submit within 2 weeks of the conclusion of our conference a communique of what we have discussed and suggestion for improvement, either in the profession or in the society, is usually forwarded to the president and council, who we expect to forward that to the government. We cannot bypass the president and forward things directly to the president.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that's a good one, that a communique was being developed after the conference and also passed down to the governing council, to our Nigerian government. Moving along, as ICAN Canada and this society, assuming our president, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, calls you to briefly speak to his economic team, at least as far as I can remember, sir, you're also a Nigerian, on what Nigeria and Nigerians should practically expect after the conclusion of your conference that you are about holding. Please tell our global viewers some of the points that will be on your presentation slides to Mr. President and his economic team.
Okay, we are the developer of the topics and and we have selected presenters, and we are giving them synopsis of what we expect them to discuss. At this moment, we will not be able to say, okay, this is how they will discuss it, this is what they will say. But like I said earlier on, at the conclusion, we will be able to say, okay, based on our interaction, not just the presentation, the question asked, the answer given, the comment made by participants, we collect all those together and we say, okay, based on this is what we think you should do moving forward. But of particular interest is one of our topic this year, which we call decision making for data optimization, decision making optimization through data mining. It's one thing that we'll be able to say, okay, oh, President, yes, accountants, sometimes they treat us more like auditors than accountants, because auditor is somebody that comes to a party when the party is over and is asked to count the number of plates of for jollof rice that was served. That is the role of audit. I'm not trying to be derogatory here, but we have to be involved in decision making. Incidentally, accounting profession provide most of the information for decision making, but we are seldom available. We are seldom involved in the decision making itself. So I think there is a need for the president to involve accountant more in the actual decision making process. For instance, you see in the recent time whereby a policy announcement is made without even giving a kind of a time frame for people to adjust. To give them an advance notice that this policy is going to come, and prepare your mind for this and all that. They just announce policy just like the military era, and the policy take effect immediately or with immediate alacrity. And a few weeks later, we see, oh, we are reversing the policy. If you have involved us, because accountants are good at decision making, if they involve accountant at the beginning of this, we'll be able to advise how you can do policy simulation before announcing those policies. So all this issue, like I said, conclusively, I cannot say now that this is what will be the outcome of the conference, because we don't want to preempt what each speaker will say. We cannot preempt what participant contribution will be to the discussion and all that. So, but basically, in terms of decision making, I think there is a need to involve Akada more than we are now. We cannot just be doing budget seminar after the budget is passed. Do we do budget review of the past budget? Are we involved in the budget preparation? So you have to bring all this in. For over time, I know, for close to 25 years, ICAN has been complaining about incremental budgeting that is not serving our purpose. How has government been responding to this? So those are issues that we, probably we can think from now to, at the moment to say, okay, President, look more in the direction of an accountant. Usually the current president is an accountant himself. You understand how important, how central accountants are into, in terms of decision-making process. We provide most of the inputs into decision-making. Why are we outsider of decision makers?
Wow, wow, wow. It's been very wonderful talking to you, Dr. Oluwadele, FCA, on the topic of scaling accounting profession with technology, the Canada experience. Because of our time, we will not be able to go beyond this. We want to say thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing your wealth of experience with our members and friends of the Institute. I say once again, thank you for coming, Dr. Bolu.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir.
And more grace to your able.
Thank you very much.
Long live our institute, our prestigious institute.
That's a good one. Thank you very much. Okay, our audience and our viewers, that is the first part of the show. I'll quickly go on a commercial now. And when I'm back, trust me, I'll be coming back with Mr. Blessing Familusi, FCA, the chairman of ICAN Canada and District Society. And he'll be talking to us on the forthcoming night conference that will be held by ICAN Canada District and District Society. Don't go away. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
As a finance professional in a disrupted business landscape, what does it take to be in demand? What does it take to attract great paying international roles? If you're an ICAN member, it'll just take one exam. That's all it takes to complete the globally recognized SEMA professional qualification and the internationally respected CGMA designation. As a SEMA member and a CGMA designation holder, employers will look at you as a finance professional, constantly acquiring new skills to add value to the business. That's why they'll be willing to pay premium to hire and retain you. If you have 5 years of relevant experience and are an ICAN member, you can directly sit for the final exam of the SEMA Professional Qualification, the Strategic Case Study exam. Start studying the SEMA Professional Qualification. Prepare to make an impact.
Welcome back to ICAN on Air. And if you are just joining us, of course, this is another episode where we are talking about upscaling accounting profession with technology, the Canada experience. We just ended a session of that episode, and this is the second session of the episode. I welcome to the studio the chairman of ICAN Canada and District Society, Mr. Blessing Familusi, FCA. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Akinwumi, for having us. I must say that you are doing a good job. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we have talked so much on the topic for the night conference of ICAN Canada and District society. So let's go straight into the conference issues. When is the ninth conference coming up?
Thank you, Mr. Akiwumi, one more time. Permit me to acknowledge the ICAN presidency and the council, ICAN Canada Body of Past Chairman, our executives, the anchors, and our viewers. So the ninth ICAN Canada International Accountants Conference is coming up in Calgary, the beautiful city of Calgary, on July 16. So arrival is July 16, and it spans towards July the 20th of 2024. Thank you.
Okay, so July 16th to 20th, meaning that we have almost 4 months before the commencement of that conference. So why the early publicity if we still have 4 months of the conference?
Yeah, thank you. The publicity we need to do is because people will need to apply for visas. And as we know, the Canadian visa takes a while to process. So we don't want any surprises. We allow for about 3 months to 4 months for visa processing so that the visas are not approved after the conference, like we've seen in the past.
Okay. I think that makes a lot of sense so that members who are interested can quickly go and register and start processing the visa.
Correct.
So what is the theme of your conference and why the choice of this theme?
Yeah, so the theme of the conference is strategic upscaling of accounting profession within the dynamics of technology. And as our senior member of the technical team, Dr. Bolutife, has trashed that issue very well. We know that modern day accountants, because of the evolvement, the way technology is evolving, we need to be proactive, we need to be future focused, we need to be technologically inclined, and we need to be technically ready for whatever is coming in future, because the speed with which technology is moving is a lot faster. So the accounting profession has to be moving at that pace if we are not going to be obsolete. So we want to be able to respond appropriately to technological advancement. That's why we chose that topic. Thank you.
Okay, responding to technological advancement, and that's a good one. We can't but talk about technology when we have accountants in the house, just like Dr. Bolu mentioned and you acknowledge. Okay,
Yes.
so Chairman, give us the overview of the conference and what will make it unique and memorable to delegates.
Okay, so the conference is going to be very interesting. Like people who have attended our conference in the past, they know that it's loaded with lots of packages. So Tuesday will be the arrival date. There will be vehicles conveying people from the airport to their hotels. Then the second and the third day will be the technical content, the real paper presentation for the conference. Though in the evening, we're losing out, we go eat Chinese restaurants, we go to the Nigerian buffet, So we have all those arranged. That takes us into Friday. Friday in the morning, we go for sightseeing. So there are beautiful sightseeing venues in Calgary. We have chosen one of them, which is the Heritage Park. People who know Heritage Park knows it's a wonderful place. It also has a boat, for the boat cruise. Some people who live in Calgary don't even believe there's a boat or a cruise in Calgary. But ICAN Canada is going to take you there. We have a cruise. And then once we come back, we take you on a bus ride around the city of Calgary to have a view of what the city looks like. Then we end that day in a picnic. There's a big picnic, fanfare, music, and all that, barbecue. Then we go to the hotel. So Saturday sees the wonderful gala night. We have our musicians on hand. So, we are ready to dazzle you. Thank you.
Indeed, Chairman, there wouldn't have been a better way to answer this question than the way you have actually answered it. And your response would possibly take maybe half of the accountants in Nigeria to Canada to experience all of these things you actually talk about. I can see a very good plan on the ground. Well done to you and your team for the good job being done over there.
Thank you.
Okay, so ICAN Canada is planning an accounting conference that intends to bring in the cream la cream in the accounting and finance profession across the globe. You've mentioned the activities that will at the conference will actually feature, but can we also get to know some of the speakers that will also be speaking at the upcoming night conference of ICAN Canada and this society?
Thank you. So we have 4 interesting topics to back up this theme, to break the theme into different topics. So the first topic is review of accounting professional and technology synergy, the synergy between the accounting and technology. And that paper is going to be presented by one of our senior members, Sheyi Owolabi. She's a partner at MMP, a senior partner at MMP in Calgary. Then the second paper is disruptive technology and AI upskilling for accountants. That is a very loaded paper. That will be taken by one of our paper presenters, Chioma Ufodike. Chioma Ufodike is the Chief Compliance Officer of Olympic Trust in Canada and overseas. So, by the way, she's the wife of the Deputy Minister in the city of Calgary and the province of Alberta. So she's a very solid speaker. We have another topic, decision-making optimization through data mining. That is for now being taken by a gentleman, Greg Cowles, CPA CMA. He is the CEO of Black House Systems, an accounting leasing company in Calgary. So we are doing something new this time for this conference. The 4th paper is going to be a panel discussion. So that panel discussion will be based on a topic, accounting in the era of diversified profession. So as we know, the panel will be anchored by somebody. We have identified a very, very intelligent paper presenter that we all know, Professor Godwin Oyedokun. He has graciously agreed to anchor that session for us. So as we can see, this is a very loaded session and a conference that we cannot afford to miss. Thank you.
Oh, wow. These are amiable speakers and experts that we have actually put together for this conference. Okay, Chairman, so for those who are interested in coming to Calgary come July 2024, take us through the registration process. What does it involve?
Okay, so we have participants in 2 different categories. So first category, we have people who registered last year. They got their visas, but they were not able to come to the conference. So those were deferred participants. Then we have the second set who will be coming for the first time. They are registering for the first time and all that. So both registrations, they are the same format. There's a PDM registration form, PDF, that we have sent to the Secretariat. So they just need to pick it up from the secretariat, complete a few lines there, and then that is the registration. They need to now go and pay to the designated account that we have indicated. There's another registration just for logistics, because most of the time we find out when we do registrations, we have to now ask people, what is your t-shirt size? Are you coming alone, coming with this person? What kind of food do you like? So we have put a logistics form on our website, which every registrant is also required to go and complete, just to answer those logistic questions. So both registration will now form a complete registration package for the conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Blessing Familusi, FCA, the chairman of ICAN Canada Society. Our viewers at home, if you have any question for the chairman of ICAN Canada and District on the forthcoming night conference of ICAN Canada, please put your questions out. Certainly, I'll put it to him so he can actually give response to the question. Okay, so moving along, still on the forthcoming conference holding in Calgary in July 2024. Apart from some of the activities that are lined up for the conference, can you give us some insights on your involvement with CPA Canada and the Nigeria High Commission in Canada regarding this conference?
Thank you for that question. So first, I will start with CPA Canada. CPA has been very friendly with ICAN because they know the stuff that we are made of. So CPA in our conferences, like this particular conference, inclusive, they always come to the opening ceremony. They usually give a speech at the opening ceremony. They also send like a message, like a goodwill message in our conference brochure. They also advertise on there. So they pay to advertise on there. Then for this year, they did something that is very unique. They took it a step further. They said they are coming to have a stand at the conference to display to our members how they can become members of CPA. So that is unique to this conference. The Nigerian High Commission on its own part they've been very, very warm. That's the Nigeria High Commission to Canada. So they come as usual. They give opening remarks. The ambassador makes sure that every of our conferences he is physically present, except the virtual ones. He is also physically present on the virtual screen. He gives an opening remark. He declares the conference open. We gave him that honor to always declare our conferences open. Then, last conference, because it was held in Ottawa, where they are based, the office is based, he personally invited the entire executives, the ICAN presidency, and the council members to his office. And we had a very warm interaction and took pictures. So they have been very, very accommodating to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a good one from the CPA and also from the High Commission. Well done, sir. Okay, earlier on, while answering some of my questions, I think you talked about the accommodation, the refreshment, and all that. But I think in particular now, while we are here in Nigeria, we enjoy Nigerian delicacy. If we also cross to Canada, we should also know what is in there for us. So I want to know what is the plan of the conference committee on accommodation, refreshments, and other logistics for delegate comfort and maximum satisfaction?
Thank you. Good question. So accommodation is pre-arranged. It's already pre-negotiated with the hotel. So when you register, accommodation is automatically included. So you just come with your bags, you are good. Your feeding from the day you step into Canada till the day you leave after the conference is totally covered. So for the logistics, we make sure that we arrange how you will get from the airport to your hotel, and then at the last day back to the airport. So what we try to do is to not, sometimes when we travel to other cities, you see some strange food, some vegetables, carrots that you are not, at home with. So we try to make sure Nigerian meals are coming intermittently, almost throughout the conference. So the gala night, for the first time, we're going to serve Nigerian meal in our gala night this year, because it has always been salad, all those, yeah. So, but we will make sure we mix it with Nigerian food for the first time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think those are good plans, especially on that refreshment where we want to go Nigerian. We need to go Nigerian. That's a good one, and it's a good consideration. My next question is a question from Vincenta Walesin. Is asking, is there any option for virtual participation or a consideration for young accountants in terms of subsidy for the young accountants? Do you have any of such plan?
Yeah, virtual participation, the conference planning committee is working seriously on that. We want to be sure that whoever participates virtually gets value for their money. So all the logistics are going on. But what will happen is the conference registration for people who will get visas, we would allow that to close and get out of the way in around April, early to mid-April. Then we will start talking about virtual participation. Talking about young accountants, we've seen that request for the first time this year. It is on the table. We are considering that. We will let them know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think the summary of the response is that let's first deal with the physical delegates.
Yes.
That will be talking about the issue of visas and all that. Then after that, we'll now bring in the options of virtual participation. Thank you very much, Chairman, for considering your members in diaspora. Now, my next question, which is germane, because when it comes to international conference, I think this is the major part of it, and that is question that has to do with visa processing procedure. So is there any support from the Canadian government to make the visa processing procedure easy for our members who wish to be part of your conference?
Yes, that's a very good question. So what we did, or what we were required to do by the Canadian government, is to let them know whenever we are having conferences. So we'll do that by way of application to the Canadian government. They give us an approval. So they will give us an approval and say, go ahead with your conferences. Then they now give us a unique code and say, every of your participants that are applying for visa, this is their event code. So we provide that to everybody that registered. And then once the government, the visa officer sees the government event code, it already knows this is an approved event. So the likelihood of getting a visa is very high. So we have enjoyed a very good support from the government. Sometimes they decline organizations and say, your events are not approved and all that. But we are fortunate. Last year conference was approved. We got a very good level of visa. This year is also approved. And we are hoping for a large increase in visa approval. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Our time is fast spent and we need to go quickly so we can round up. As we coast home, we heard that Calgary is a beautiful city in Canada, which you also earlier mentioned. So what are some of the tourist attractions and hospitalities that await the conference attendees?
Yes, so Calgary is beautiful. Even people that live in Canada, they go to Calgary just to relax. So there are so many attractions. We strategically placed our conference in the week following the Calgary Stampede. Anybody that knows about the Calgary Stampede, it's a big event, very colorful. So it takes place the week prior to the conference, but during the conference week, you still see bits and pieces of what has happened. So you see the colorfulness that is there. We also have some sightseeing attractions. Uh, we have the Calgary Olympic Park. We have the Nose Hill Park, Dinosaur Provincial Park, Prince Island Park, Heritage Park, which we have chosen for our sightseeing. There's the Calgary Tower, there's the Glenbow Museum, shopping malls, Rocky Mountain, and then, of course, a few hours drive from there, about a hour drive, you have the Dromela, and then you have Banff. So Calgary is so beautiful with so many side attractions. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Blessing, thank you very much. And finally, in 30 seconds, let me give you that free window to speak to your regional colleagues across the globe and convince them why they should be in Canada in July 2024 to attend the 9th International Conference.
Okay, thank you. My distinguished professional colleagues, our next conference promises to be a fully loaded conference. We have very knowledgeable paper presenters. There is a lot of fun-filled activities for you. Then, about the issue of visa, don't be discouraged. Apply. We have a lot of support for you. ICAN Canada will issue letter of invitation directly to you from Canada, which you take to the embassy. We also have a letter from the hotel confirming that you are going to stay with them. Hotel confirmation letter comes directly in your name. And ICAN Nigeria has been very, very nice. They issue a letter that you are a member, introduction letter. So if you add all those 3 letters, plus the letter you will get in your employment that you are also a staff of the company, 4 letters you take to the embassy, plus the fact that we send your name here to the embassy directly. They are expecting your applications. The chances of you coming is very, very high. So don't be discouraged. Come and enjoy and improve your knowledge. The conference has 16 MCPE credits approved. This is recognized by ICAN and also in CPA Canada. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Blessing Familusi, FCA, the chairman of ICAN Canada and District Society. I want to say thank you for coming on the show today. And also once again to Dr. Bolutife Oluwadele, FCA, for being part of the show today. See you in July at Calgary for the 9th International Conference. Thank you very much. We're happy to see you.
Thank you for having us, Mr. Akinwumi.
And
have a wonderful day. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Same from here. Now, quickly, let me take the announcement that we have on the show today. Our MCPD training program, date Wednesday, March 20 to Thursday, March 21st, 2024. The sector is audit practice. The mode of this program is virtual. Amount is 20,000 Naira. Hurry and register for the program. Also, we have the free faculty webinar, Assurance of Internal Control over Financial Reporting, ICFR. Date, Friday, March 22nd, 2024. Time is 10 a.m. It is free. It is free. And it goes with 2 MCPD credit hours. Also, the Institute has increased MCPD credit hours from 90 to 120 hours for 3 consecutive years. And that circular has gone round. So what do you do as a professional? Ensure you are part of MCPD, ensure attend conferences, attend programs, and get your 120 hours MCPD credit unit. Also, March 2024 Arts-Y examination date has been fixed for Tuesday, March 26 to March 27, 2024, and registration closes on March 21st. Please tell all our actual students to be informed of this so that they can actually register. Also, the new date and venue for the 23rd Fellowship Conferment Program as follows. We have the date now, the new date to be Saturday, May 18, 2024, and the new venue as Arbor Point Event Center, Wilmot Road off Ahmadu Bello Way, Victoria Island, Lagos. The time remains 11 a.m. and the fee for FCA conferment is 175,000 naira. Hurry and be part of this program. Also, the IT conference, the topic is digital economy, navigating the new frontier. The date is April 29, 2024. 10 a.m. The venue is virtual one, and the amount is 10,000 naira. And lastly, as we tell you every now and then, subscribe to ICAN YouTube channels and follow ICAN on all the social media handles, the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and other social media handles. ICAN is yours, and you can't but afford to follow on all of these social media handles. Dear professional colleagues and our global viewers, you would agree with me that today's program is worth the while, highly educating and instructive. You have heard about the upcoming 9th International Conference coming up in ICAN Canada District at Calgary. Make your move now and start registering for that conference. And that is the show for today. I want to thank you for being part of this show. Till I come your way again with another guest and another topical issue, please stay safe and sound. On behalf of the editorial team and the producers, I remain Tosin Akinyomi, FCA, saying thank you for watching and bye for now.